Have you ever felt an inexplicable sense of dissatisfaction with yourself? Like no matter what you do, it's never enough. You're constantly striving, pushing, but never quite feeling worthy. This, my friends, is the sneaky, insidious nature of self-hatred. It whispers doubts in our ears, convinces us we're not good enough, and keeps us stuck in a cycle of negativity. Here's the thing about self-hatred. It often disguises itself. It hides behind masks of perfectionism, self-sabotage, and even seemingly harmless habits. We may not even realize it's there, silently chipping away at our self-worth. That's why today, we're going to shine a light on the 7 signs of secret self-hatred. By recognizing these patterns, we can begin to dismantle them and cultivate a more compassionate, loving relationship with ourselves. Let's talk about perfectionism. It's a concept that many of us are familiar with, yet few truly understand its impact. We often see it as a positive trait, a sign of ambition and drive. It's celebrated in our culture, often equated with success and high standards. But what if I told you that beneath the surface, perfectionism can be a breeding ground for self-hatred? It can lead to a cycle of constant dissatisfaction and self-criticism. You see, true perfection is an illusion, a mythical creature that doesn't exist. It's like chasing a mirage in the desert. No matter how close you think you are, it always remains out of reach. When we chase after it relentlessly, we set ourselves up for inevitable failure. The harder we try, the more we feel like we're falling short. And each perceived failure chips away at our sense of worth. It's like a slow erosion of our self-esteem, leaving us feeling empty and inadequate. We berate ourselves for every mistake, every imperfection. We become trapped in a cycle of self-criticism and doubt. We become our own harshest critics, holding ourselves to impossible standards, standards that no one could ever realistically meet. This constant striving, this need to prove ourselves often stems from a deep-seated belief that we're not enough as we are. We feel that we must earn our worth through achievements. We believe that our worthiness is conditional, dependent on achieving that elusive state of perfection. But this belief is a lie that keeps us trapped. But the truth is, we are enough. Right here, right now, imperfections and all. Our value is inherent, not something that needs to be proven. It's time to embrace our perfectly imperfect selves and release the grip of perfectionism. Let's celebrate our uniqueness and find joy in our journey rather than in an unattainable destination. Have you ever found yourself on the cusp of something great only to inexplicably sabotage your own success? You're not alone. This is a common experience that many people face, often without even realizing it. Self-sabotage is a painful yet often unconscious way we punish ourselves. It manifests in various forms, from procrastination to self-doubt, and can be incredibly debilitating. It's like we're trapped in a tug-of-war with ourselves. One part of us wants to move forward, while another part holds us back, creating an internal conflict that feels impossible to resolve. One part of us craves success, recognition, and happiness, while another part, fueled by self-hatred, actively works against us. This internal struggle can be exhausting and disheartening. We might procrastinate on important projects, engage in unhealthy behaviors, or push away those who care about us. These actions are often driven by a fear of failure or a belief that we are not worthy of success. These self-destructive patterns are often rooted in a deep-seated belief that we don't deserve good things. This belief can stem from past experiences, negative self-talk, or societal pressures. We might fear success because it challenges our negative self-image. The idea of achieving our goals can be terrifying if we're used to seeing ourselves as failures. Or perhaps we believe that happiness is fleeting and pain is inevitable. This mindset can prevent us from fully embracing the good moments in life, leaving us stuck in a cycle of self-sabotage. But here's the truth. You are worthy of love, success, and happiness. It's important to recognize and challenge these negative beliefs. It's time to break free from the cycle of self-sabotage and step into the life you deserve. By acknowledging our worth and taking positive steps forward, we can overcome these destructive patterns and achieve our true potential. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easier than ever to fall into the comparison trap. Just a few taps, we can see into the lives of others, often only seeing the highlights and best moments. We scroll through curated feeds bombarded with images of seemingly perfect lives, and it's easy to feel like we don't measure up. We compare our bodies, our careers, our relationships, and even our daily routines. Our homes, our achievements, our everything. The constant exposure to these idealized versions of life can make us feel inadequate. And guess what? We always seem to come up short. No matter how much we achieve, there's always someone who seems to be doing better. But here's the thing about comparison. It's a losing game. It steals our joy, fuels our insecurities, and makes us question our worth, and keeps us stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. This constant comparison can lead to anxiety and depression, making it hard to appreciate what we have. When we constantly measure ourselves against others, we lose sight of our own unique gifts, talents, and accomplishments. We forget to celebrate our own milestones and progress. We forget that everyone is on their own journey, facing their own challenges and overcoming their own obstacles. Each person's path is different, and that's what makes life interesting. And celebrating their own victories. These moments of triumph, no matter how small, are what truly matter. It's time to stop comparing and start appreciating. Appreciate your own journey, your own strengths, your own unique beauty. Embrace your individuality and find joy in your own story. Chapter 4. The Echo Chamber of Negative Self-Talk. Our thoughts have incredible power. They shape our beliefs, influence our actions, and ultimately create our reality. So what happens when our inner dialogue is dominated by negative self-talk? Imagine a constant stream of criticism, judgment, and doubt echoing in your mind. You're not good enough. You'll never amount to anything. You're unlovable. This relentless negativity erodes our self-esteem, fuels our insecurities, and keeps us trapped in a cycle of self-hatred. We start to believe the lies we tell ourselves, and our actions begin to reflect those beliefs. But here's the good news. We have the power to change our inner dialogue. It takes conscious effort, but we can choose to challenge those negative thoughts and replace them with more compassionate, empowering ones. Chapter 5. Neglecting your needs. How often do you put your own needs last? Do you prioritize everyone else's happiness above your own? Neglecting self-care is a telltale sign of self-hatred. When we consistently disregard our physical, emotional, and mental well-being, it sends a powerful message to ourselves. We're not worthy of care. We don't deserve rest, nourishment, or joy. We might overwork ourselves, ignore our physical health, or numb our emotions with unhealthy coping mechanisms. This neglect stems from a belief that our needs don't matter, that we're not important enough to prioritize. But here's the truth. Self-care is not selfish, it's essential. It's about honoring our worthiness and giving ourselves permission to thrive. Chapter 6. Deflecting compliments. Have you ever received a genuine compliment only to brush it off or downplay it? This seemingly harmless habit can actually be a sign of deep-seated self-hatred. When we struggle to accept praise, it indicates a disconnect between how others perceive us and how we perceive ourselves. We might feel unworthy of the compliment, believing that the person giving it is mistaken or simply being kind. This inability to internalize positive feedback stems from a lack of self-love. We don't see ourselves as deserving of praise, so we reject it outright. But here's the thing, compliments are gifts. They're opportunities to acknowledge our strengths, celebrate our accomplishments, and embrace our worthiness. Chapter 7. Feeling unworthy of love. At its core, self-hatred whispers a dangerous lie. You are unlovable. This belief, often deeply ingrained from childhood experiences or past traumas, can permeate every aspect of our lives. We might sabotage relationships, push away loved ones, or settle for less than we deserve, all because we don't believe we're worthy of true, unconditional love. This feeling of unworthiness can manifest as a fear of intimacy, a constant need for validation, or a tendency to attract partners who reinforce our negative self-image. But here's the truth, you are worthy of love. You are worthy of connection, belonging, and acceptance. It's time to challenge that limiting belief and open your heart to the possibility of love. Outro. Embracing self-love. Recognizing these 7 signs is the first step towards healing. Remember, self-hatred thrives in the shadows. By bringing it into the light of our awareness, we can begin to dismantle its power. It's time to challenge those negative beliefs, cultivate self-compassion, and embrace our worthiness. It's a journey, not a destination, and it requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to be kind to ourselves. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below, and if you're ready to dive deeper into self-love and healing, check out my next video on insert video title.